This is chapter 6, page 1 in the notes. Angles and radian measures. Angles can be measured in both degrees and radians. Radian measure is based on the circumference of a unit circle, which I happen to have handy right here. Here's the unit circle. So the circumference, the distance around. That's a circle with radius of 1. Since the circumference of the unit circle is 2 pi, or 360 degrees, that's 360 degrees or 2 pi radians, it is often helpful to convert between degrees and radians. So example 1a and b are done for you. If you want to convert degrees to radians and leave pi in the answer, you multiply by pi over 180. When you multiply, you get this. And when you reduce, it reduces to 23 pi over 36. When you go from radians to degrees, instead of multiplying by pi over 180, you multiply by 180 over pi. Here the pi's will cancel. If you multiply negative 7 times 180 divided by 8, you will get negative 157.5 degrees. C, change 215 degrees to exact radians. That means you just multiply by pi over 180. The degrees will cross out. And if you reduce these, you would get 43 pi over 36. D, 3 pi to degrees. You would just multiply this by 180 over pi. The pi's will cancel, and 3 pi radians is 540 degrees. Example 2a, use the unit circle, no calculator to evaluate these. So 2 pi over 3, which we're going to find right over here. If we want the sign, it's just the y coordinate. So it's just root 3 over 2. Cosine is the x coordinate on the unit circle. So if here is pi over 2, negative pi over 2, we would go clockwise. It's right here. The x coordinate would be 0. Cosine of 30. Just look right here, find the x coordinate. That is root 3 over 2. Sine of 225. Here's 225. It's the y coordinate. It's just negative root 2 over 2. So tan of pi over 4. Pi over 4 is here, and tangent's really y over x, which is right over here. It is just 1. And if we want the cosine of 5 pi over 6, it's just the x coordinate. So here's 5 pi over 6. Here's the x coordinate. It's negative root 3 over 2. On G, for the sine of 13 pi over 6, you're not going to find that on the unit circle because that only goes up to 2 pi radians. So first thing you could do is convert it to degrees just by multiplying by 180 over pi. When you do that, you get 390 degrees. And if you find an angle coterminal to 390, you can just add or subtract 360. In this case, subtract 360. We get sine of 30, which is 1/2. Tan of 25 pi over 6. Okay, again, that is not on the unit circle. You can either stay in radians or change it to degrees. If we change it to degrees, the pi's cancel out, and you're going to get the tan of 750 degrees. That is not on the unit circle. So what we could do is this. Just keep on subtracting 360 until we find a familiar angle. And if you do, you're going to get the same thing, which is tan of 30. And tan of 30 is root 3 over 3. The other option, instead of subtracting 360, since this was already in radians, you could have just kept on subtracting 2 pi. 2 pi is equivalent to 12 pi over 6. And then you'd have 13 pi over 6. And if you subtracted 2 pi again, that's equivalent to 12 pi over 6. That's pi over 6. So either go to radians or degrees, and that would help you. These are the notes from page 1 of chapter 6.